Hey Ismail,
What's up?
what is the first memory that comes to your mind when you think about your football journey?
I have this memory of me going to the bus to the stadium and just having, like this fear inside you of performing and just imagine like the worst scenarios that can come in your game when you just give like a pass to your opponents and then your team receive a goal because of you and then like you feel guilty and you feel like the weight of all the team that's just in your back for like days and days, sometimes for months, just for one football game that you missed. So if I would talk about one black point in my football experience, would be like the stress under performance. But of course, beside that, there is a lot of positive things that I took from my football experience. Like I have some good memories where I saved crucial goals for my team, where I had to take risks and to save my team by making some decisions on the football game. So globally, I would say it was a very good experience. It was a very improving experience. In parallel, also it helps me to manage my mindset beyond football in the professional world and also in my sports career.
Interesting. Let us go back in time. Like, when was the first time you started playing football and discovered your role as a goalkeeper? You mentioned like saving the crucial goals. When was it?
Well, I was born and I grew up in Morocco in Casablanca, and I started football in a club at 8. I was a player. I was a field player. So I just started with a school called Wydad Casablanca. It's like one of the biggest clubs actually in Morocco. They have a school in my city. So I just got there and played for 6 months or 7 months as a player. I think I wasn't that good, but it's normal. Like at this age, I didn't had any basis of football, and then I just liked the vibe of the goalkeeper. I just watched some professional football games where I saw like this keeper jumping. I loved like jumping and all the athletics performance, so I just dived naturally to this post. And yeah, like since 9 years old, I was playing goalkeeper until 22.
Wow. Like since 9 years old, that's like very early to understand, okay, that's my role. That's what I want. Like, do you remember maybe like one certain moment where did you
I
had
don't
like
think I don't think I did it for the good reasons actually. I just think that I was very bad actually as a field player and I just had this fear of bad performance in front of my friends and I thought that like goalkeeping also is kind of a security post because you are not really engaged in the game. If you're not good at the time, actually, if you're not good with your feet, it was okay because you're a goalkeeper. Today, it's not possible. As a goalkeeper, you should have a good fit game. So I would say that it wasn't for the good reasons, but with the time, I just understood that actually I like this post because of the athletic performance that it needs and for the responsibility that it gives you also.
Hmm. Yeah, you mentioned right now the responsibility, and that's like I think one of the biggest thing. Like as a goalkeeper, you are the last man standing, and the
Yeah.
responsibility is so much high. How is your take on this over the time?
Yeah, we used to think that the goalkeeper is a safe post because of you are not really engaged in the game. If you have a good defenders, you are not very engaged. But actually, um, a midfielder or a football player, like a field player, can make 10 bad passes or give like a pass to an opponent. It will not have an impact on the game. However, as a goalkeeper, at the moment where you will have a mistake, like we can see it at the moment. You can
Hmm.
receive a goal for it, but everyone will notice it because it will give a big risk to your team. So it gives you some stress, some pressure, and also it requires a lot of communication. You have to know your players. You should talk. You should not be. I used to be very shy, so it was very hard in the beginning actually to be a good leader as a goalkeeper. But with the time, I understood that if you don't talk in this post, and if you don't take responsibilities, it can play against you actually. So in the beginning, it's very hard. You should have really strong mindset to play as a goalkeeper, as a good goalkeeper. It also requires to have some responsibility on your team, and I would say that the stress is the biggest enemy of the goalkeeper, because when you are under stress, you don't take reasonable choices actually.
Mm. Let's go a bit to the stress. Like, at which age you discovered for you, like consciously, oh, okay, it's the stress what holds me back to take responsibility.
I actually understood it very late. I think it would be around 17 or 16 that I understood that actually I have to work in my mind to improve my performance. Knowing that in the beginning I thought it was technical problems I have to practice in training, but at the moment at 14 or 15 I just realized that I'm very good actually in trainings. Like I don't have any feet problem. I can make like very precise passes in the trainings, but at the moment where we're gonna do it in the game, I will not perform that good. And that was like for 4 years or 5 years the same. And my coach was telling me this actually. He was telling me like, "You're very good, but I can't trust you." And
Mm,
I had also the chance to have a coach that was very honest with me. And I think it's very important also to have someone that will give you his honest opinion about you. But he just clearly told me that I can't trust you. I can't call you in the final. I can't call you on big games because of this problem. So at 16, I understood that this is my problem. Like my mindset was my problem actually. And in this school in Morocco, we didn't have any mental coach or someone that gonna care about your mindset. We were like very oriented on your technique. How do you do?
mm,
How do you play in with your feet? And as a goalkeeper, also they didn't give it a bigger importance. It's more how do you jump, how do you dive, how fast your reflex are. So we neglect a little bit this kind of mental health or mental problems. But then when I started understanding that this is the problem and this is where I should focus, I like saw significant improvement in my performance. Like I couldn't imagine that it will be that big difference. But at the moment when I start focusing more in my mindset and how I will play my game, how I will think while playing my game, and thinking about the flow zone, thinking about playing for improvement, this changed actually my perspective of playing, my level, and I saw it like at the season where I start applying it.
mm. Yeah, that's amazing. Like, and also like what is really interesting, like in your case, is like with 16, 17, you understood it, but you were not like, how was it for you when you understood it that you say, okay, I want to work on it? Because like so many players, they want to avoid this feeling of, no, no, I'm completely fine. It's not mental, right? And like, what was the difference for you? Like that you say, no, I have to work on it.
I think that the human nature in general will always avoid uncomfort. Like
Mm,
if you know that you're bad at something, you will not want to spend a lot of time on it, because you know that you will have this bad feeling after it. You will feel that you are not good enough, and then we are just scared actually of the feeling that we're gonna receive by practicing this thing. If you love shooting and you're good at shooting, you will like the shooting session trainings. If you're very bad at would say jumping or the athletic performance, you will hate those kind of sessions. So I think it's exactly the same thing with the mind health also. We think that we don't have to work it because we know that maybe we're going to discover some bad things about us, we're going to feel bad, we're going to show that we have a lot of work to do. And it took time also for me to start really diving on that completely, and finding the good exercises for it, because in internet you can find everything, and
mm,
not everything works necessarily. Started to find some good exercises around 18 and 19, but I think that if I would knew that a little bit earlier, it would like give complete change on my career, because like just the last years that I was applying those exercises and those mindsets of training, it's completely changed my performance.
mm. Yeah, that's a really good point because like in psychology we say there's some patterns it builds very young in the age, and the later you start with them, it's harder to change them. because like you had so many years of experience with the same pattern, and it's then harder to change the pattern. Did you saw also in your like team the similar problems in other players where they were so talented, but it was performance day and they had like issues to perform?
Every day, like every day in my trainings I was saying this. In my trainings, how you would used to see a player that's like very good at skills, he's very skilled, he's dribbling, he's like making uh, unexpected decisions that you cannot predict him, but in the
Mm,
game he will just play it safe. He will just give a pass, and the pass, like I can see it from my goal that he will do it, so the opponent see it also, and it give us like more pressure, and then like the game is predictable, and it's completely changed the game. So I think like we underestimate how many players are concerned actually about those kind of problems, because you have the player that have the problem and don't want to work it because he's afraid of the sensation that it's going to give him. He will feel bad. You have the player that have the problem and don't know it also, and you have
mm,
the problem that the player that know it and work on it but with the bad exercises, and just he don't take it like in the good way. So I think there is like majority of players that are concerned about this mindset and mental problems, and it's not like actually a chance. It's not by chance that very big players are taking like a football coach in the in the mindset also, and in the athletic perspective. So if the clubs are starting to doing it, it's for a reason, and I think like by working on this aspect would change a lot of things like in the performance.
mm. Interesting. Where where do you started with the, let's say, the mental training to change your mindset? Which kind of trainings and where do you find it? In YouTube or was it?
Well, as a 17, 16 years old, I didn't have like the possibility to invest in a football coach or a mental coach, so I just went to internet. But as I said, the problem with that is that you don't have trust on those people. You don't know if what they say like it really works or no. They don't have any credibility. You have some good stuff, but you can have also some people that are just they weren't players. They don't know football. Uh, they don't recognize actually the exact problem that you are facing. So internet was my first actually source of learning.
Mm. Can you give us a bit some kind of exercise that help you over the time?
Yeah, sure. Like this, there was this exercise, and I think it's Kobe who was talking about that. Um, when you go and you play for winning, you would have always depression, because if you don't win, like you will feel bad, and all, as I said, the human nature is afraid of feeling bad, so you will have this pressure of feeling bad after the game. But if you play for improvement, and if you play to improve your game, it gives complete another perspective actually to your game, because if you win, then it's good because you practiced what you did and you did it well. But if you
Mm,
don't win, you have a lot of list point of things that you have to improve, and after the game you will list it. But at the end of the time, like, you reached your goal, you are playing to improve, and you have the points that you have to work on, so you will apply it for the next game. So I think go into your game but with the perspective and the goal of improvement more than the goal of winning or losing. It's a complete game changer actually, and it applies also to life, not only to football. So that's why I think it's very interesting to invest in your mindset, because it's something that's gonna follow you all your life.
mm. Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. Like instead of focusing on the winning, focus on the improvements.
Yeah,
That's good.
completely.
Yeah.
Like there was this story that was told by Fred. Actually, Fred told me that Kobe was in a football game, in a basketball game, and there was this player that was very good, and Kobe was like responsible of him, so he was defending on him, and then this player was so aghast by how strong Kobe was, so he starts freaking out, and he starts insulting and dropping the ball like on people on the public. And just Kobe came to him. He just told him, "Calm down. Like, I need you on the game. I don't want you to go out, because if you do a mistake, like, you will go out. The referee will take you out, and I will not improve. I want you in the game to improve my game." So and it was in the final, I think, or in a very big game. So when you see that how attached he is to his improvement and he's willing to improvement, he don't care about winning. Like it's good if he go out, he will win, but he don't want that. He wants to improve. So that's
Mm,
what makes him that great and that focused on his games.
nice. What would you say, based on the mental part you mentioned right now, it helps also in real life? Like when do you train your mental part of the game? Did you also saw confidence boost in like real situations?
Like exactly, confidence is the right word. Um, when I would go, like I have a job also next to my sports and things I am doing. So sometimes you just have this pressure of delivering results, but you don't focus enough on how you will how you will develop your capacity of bringing this result. So I would switch my mind from focusing on this result for this period of time to improving the skill that will
Mm,
automatically take me to this result. And by switching that, I just focus on the right things instead of focusing on things that maybe I will forget 1 year after that. I will just focus on the long term vision. So I will focus on the skills. Maybe I will not achieve the results, but I will achieve the fact that I improve my skill, and that will follow me all my life. So I think the change actually is just to develop your vision to more a long term vision than a short term. I will not play for the game that I have this week, but I will play in this skill that I need to improve for the rest of my career.
mm,
And that's why it takes time to see results on those kind of things, because it's a long-term vision. You will start to see results after maybe 6 months, 1 year, depending on you.
mm. Yeah, that's really good. It reminds me, like I heard the sentence of most people think of have to be, they need something to be, but if you change it, be to have. Like you
I
are
love
the
it. Yeah,
person, and then you got the things, like, and you said it like just change, flip it. And
yeah,
yeah, it's powerful because you take the pressure of just like the result, you take it off and focus on improvement, and it makes more sense that you will get the result what you want in the first place.
sure, sure. Like, and I just said, like, with all those uh, podcasts and all those learnings that we have in internet, people that have the chance to apply this from 12, 13, 15, 16 years old, like they have so much chance. Like if I would apply those kind of things from my 10 years old football player that I was, like it would make a big improvement in my career. And I don't know like how football players, young football players, cannot take this chance actually, like because it can make a big difference.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. It reminds me also like one of my player. He's like very young, like he's 12 years old, and he's playing on the highest level, on like in Germany Bundesliga. And when I talk with him, he tell me things. It's high pressure for 12 years old, and like he's saying like he's shouting and like I have to perform, and kids are going into crying, and like at this one moment, like after a few months when he understood how he can challenge it, it changed for him completely. And when you develop this over time, it's incredible because you have the tools, you use it over time, and it gets better.
Yeah, like completely. But I think like when we are young, we are very sensitive to what we see. So we see football players playing in the game, doing this skill. So we want to learn this skill. We don't care actually, and we don't see the football player in his locker room training on his mindset on how we're gonna perform. So you can come and tell me that I have to work on my mindset, but I believe what I see. So I want to work on this skill. I don't want to work on my mind. And
Mm,
as soon as we can understand this, as better it is.
yeah. What would you say based on your career? Did you had like also role models? They helped you going through these phases. They helped you, or they believed in you.
Foot, football role players, I always had Manuel Neuer as a football player, but it was more as a technical aspect. So I would
Okay.
something that would give me confidence that is that I would imagine that I'm Manuel Neuer in the football game, and I will try to have the same attitude. But of like fun fact, one time it gives me like a real lesson. I watched some compilation of the New Year just the day before my game, and Emmanuel Neuer was like very. He was in his phase where he was very going out of the box. He will like go to the
Mm,
midfield and just try to play with his game. And I tried to do this actually, and like we didn't take a goal, but it failed, and we were like nearly to take a goal on that. And then I just stopped doing it like for I think a year or 2 years. So
okay.
I stopped going out of my box because I just had this feeling that I'm afraid of receiving the situation again because it was very awkward. But then, like just some moment after it, I just saw that Manuel Neuer actually had a lot of mistakes by
Mm,
going out of the box. People take the compilation of the best moments because it's impressive, but if you just will tap on internet like Manuel Neuer mistakes or foot game, etc., you will see that he have a lot of mistakes. He sometimes gave some goals to some opponents, but his mindset on this game will he will do a mistake. He will try it again
mm,
because he want to improve next time. Like he want to do it better. He will not say, "Okay, I will not do it because I want to win this game." He would say that I want to do it again because I want to improve. How am I doing it? And that makes me understand actually, and start makes me understand that on this perspective on try more focusing on your improvement than on the results that you are gonna get from the game.
mm.
But for
That,
the mental aspects, I didn't had any role player actually until recently, until the last 2 years. So I would have Alex Hormozy as a role play on the mindset perspective. I would have David Goggins. There is a lot of interesting people actually that I listen to. I like the podcasts also of Modern Wisdom. He brings a lot
mm,
of interesting people also on it. So I don't have one role model that I will watch, but I will watch like a lot of other role models that are interesting actually, because I think you can take a lot from a lot of people.
mm. How was it like in your personal circle? Like maybe some parents or uncle, cousins who were like there a person who supported you during the your journey?
I didn't had a lot of like my parents never came to watch my games. And actually I didn't want them to come because I was, as I said, I was like kind of shy. I was stressed under performance. But if you put my parents next to me, it will be more stressful for me because then I would say I have to prove them that
Mm,
they are doing good to come to see me. So no, I didn't want like them to see me, and they never came to see me on the game. They would support me by buying me some gloves or like just buying me some football shoes, but that's the only support. They are not athletes, so they will not give me advices. And like I never received any mindset advice from someone because, as I said, like we don't give any importance to that. If I would receive an advice from a friend or someone, it will be more than a technical advice than a mindset advice.
mm. Okay, understand. Going back to Manuel Neuer, and you mentioned the mistake. When did you understood, okay, a mistake is important to improve? Because when you stopped for 1 year, like how, why? Like why? Was it the feeling inside you? Was it the outside environment? They pushed you, and like what was it?
First of all, I would say that the reaction of my football team after mistakes wasn't helpful actually for
Mm,
improving and improving myself because they would have this natural reaction. And actually I don't blame them. Like it's normal. You are taking a goal, you could not control your emotions. It's better if you can, but I will not blame you if you can't. They will have this bad reaction. Yeah, like even if they don't talk, you will see that everyone is pissed because of you, because you did these mistakes. You don't want to do it again. But I think you grow a lot when you just take yourself out from this and just focus on yourself, on how you want to improve. Of course,
mm,
it's a football team. It's a team game. You have to give good influence to your team, but you will give good influence by improving yourself. So maybe you will have to do some mistakes. They do it in the professional level, and I think you cannot improve if you don't have like uh, a big package of mistakes behind you,
mm,
because we are like 100 mistakes after improvement, 200 mistakes. There was this quote of Alex Hormozy that would say, if I would tell you that you are 200 mistakes from your goal, how impatient you will be to do those mistakes to go to your
mm,
goal. So you will go and seek mistakes, actually. And I think you have also to think it like this. You have to do mistakes. Like, you will never find someone that is never missing a shot, and they will tell you that I just grew up like this and never made any mistakes. He had thousands of shots that were missed of the goal to achieve this level. But at the time, I didn't have this mindset. I had it, like, as I said, very late. And at the moment I start applying it, like, my performance growth, like, I would say more than 50%.
Mm,
And I didn't actually, underestimated the mindset effect of the football performance very for a very long time.
mm. Which kind of lessons football teaches you for now everyday life?
I would say it gives you some good package of lessons on communication, on how to communicate actually, on how to react to others' mistakes. Because when I would feel like, when I would do mistakes and I would see that my defender is the first one that's blaming me, I would say, like, okay, I don't want to do this to people. Like, I don't have
Mm,
to react like this because I know what's gonna result on it after. So it gives you those kind of reflexes on how to give feedback to people if they do a mistake, and especially how to improve yourself and how to focus on the right things.
mm.
So
Which kind of,
I think,
sorry.
yeah, like, I think you can take a lot of from football, even if you don't make it in the professional level, but it will give you some skills that you can develop all your life.
Mm. Let's say right now you are talking to a young goalkeeper and he's starting now. He's 11 years old. Which kind of advices would you give him?
I would give him the advice to make choices that are feeling good for you, and make mistakes. Of course, do not neglect the technical aspect, because it's very important also. But obviously, I would tell him to work also in his mindset, and um, be more oriented on your self improvement than winning the game. I would focus also more on his skills, on the practice. Should have a discipline, of course. Like, we don't talk about this anymore because it's so obvious that you should have a discipline
Mm,
and a consistency to improve your skills. But I would more tell him also to go on his mindset and work on his mindset, because it's something that we neglect a lot. And if he have the mindset, actually, naturally, he will have the discipline.
mm. You mentioned right now about discipline and consistency, and I think for us it's maybe something normal. But let's go on this topic, like how important is consistency in football, in life? Because what I see often is people, they starting a new diet, they doing it for 3 weeks, or they starting a training, doing it for 2 weeks, and they don't see something, they give up. And what do you think about this topic?
Well, I think even if you have discipline, there is two schools on that. There is people. They did actually a study on GG Bay players. You know that you have always those Russian guys that are very good at GG Bay, and BJJ, we call it in English.
Mm,
And they had this study by, well, they will compare, like, the United States BJJ fighters and the Russian BJJ fighters, and they will see that the USA BJJ fighters, they will train for like 4 or 5 days very hard, but they will take like 2 days off to recover and to have this recovery from the physical effort that they did. While the Russian BJJs, they will have a consistency on all the week, even if it's
mm,
not as the same level and the same high intensity as the United States BJJ players. But the fact that they have consistency and their brain is always showing up for the same things, it gives them like a very big advantage, that they are always beating them in all the big competitions. Like, if you go
mm,
to all the big competitions of BJJ, they are like always a random Russian guy that just winning the big United States fighter. So that shows, I think, how much consistency is very important, and showing up every day is very important. And I think in the beginning we don't have a big tolerance of showing up every day. So you will
mm,
show up, but you will have a break mindset. You will not be focused. But just the fact that you show up will give this indirect message to your brain that it's something that you should do in the future. So our
Mm,
brain is very adaptive, will adapt yourself, and next time you will feel better. And in 1 year, you will not even feel this tiredness of showing up. So I think that it's the price to pay actually if you when you show up and you just feel this uncomfort and you are not focused on it. But your brain is very adaptive, and you know that you will not feel this every day.
mm. What do you think about the sentence that it was never easier to achieve something, and also it was never easier to do nothing in this world we are right now living?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because we live in a world where we have also a lot of distractions, and the actions that a person will take every day will give you a big message on his personality because he's making choices. He have a lot of choices. Like you have the choice of staying in your bed watching Netflix. You have all the best conditions to do it, but you have the conditions to go out and have a run and work on your projects. I don't know if it's a football project or others. And I think the most important thing is evaluating yourself at a point where while you don't want to disappoint yourself. Um,
Mm,
there was there was this I talked about this example last time, but there was this example of the girl watching the football game, and I was talking with some friends, and um, you have always sometimes you have this moment where like you are in the school and you have this girl watching the football game, and instantly you start overperforming. You are more focused, you want to win more, you have this rage, you want to improve. And if you would value yourself more than you value this girl, because yourself is always with you, so you will always watch on yourself. If you value yourself at a point where you don't want to disappoint yourself, you will always have this over performing. You will always don't want to disappoint yourself when you go home at 6 or 7 p.m. and you want to sleep. You don't want to disappoint yourself, so you will go to the gym before going to sleep. So I think the best result and the best key of that is valuating yourself and trying to make yourself proud actually of your actions.
mm. That's a good sentence, man. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ismail.